Alrighty, everyone. We're going to talk about the U.S. Department of Treasury breach, brought to you by BeyondTrust. So there are two CVEs related to this breach, and they are CVE 2024-12356 and 2024-12686. So let's see what's going on here. All right, the short story is that a Chinese state-sponsored threat actors exploited a compromised API key from BeyondTrust. BeyondTrust is a privileged access management vendor. This compromise allowed the threat actors to bypass security and access U.S. Treasury Department workstations and steal unclassified documents. The incident highlights the risks of supply chain vulnerabilities and compromised credentials. That's the short story. So the summary is that there was a compromised API key, and BeyondTrust figured it out, but it was a little bit too late for the Treasury Department. So there are two vulnerabilities that we mentioned. They're saying that they are zero-day vulnerabilities, and they are, again, 2024-12356, which is considered a critical one, and it's a command injection vulnerability. And then 2024-12686, also command injection vulnerability, but maybe not as critical. All right, so the affected products that are owned by BeyondTrust and were being used by the Treasury Department include Privileged Remote Access, PRA, and Remote Support, RS. These are the two tools that were affected by these vulnerabilities. And so the timeline kind of goes something like this. Let's see, I had to pull this up because this was a little bit of a tougher one. Let's see. All right, so early December, BeyondTrust detected anomalies in their system, and they began investigating. So around December 5th, they identified that an API key from the remote support software as a service platform had been compromised. They revoked the key, they notified impacted customers, and they suspended affected instances. On December 8th, which was 3 days later, BeyondTrust informed the U.S. Department of Treasury that a threat actor had gained access to the key and used it to secure cloud-based services providing remote technical support. BeyondTrust issued a security advisory warning of the compromised API key for its remote support services and that they detected suspicious activity. December 16th, which was 8 days later, patch was applied to all BeyondTrust RS and PRA cloud customers that remediated their advisory, which was known as BT24-11. That's their categorization for the vulnerability. All right, so BeyondTrust issued the security advisory, BT24-10, addressing a critical command injection vulnerability, which was the 2024-12356, and that was affecting the PRA and RSA products. Okay, so December 17th, the NVD received a new CVE from BeyondTrust related to the CVE 2024-12356. Got to keep track of those numbers. December 18th, BeyondTrust issued a security advisory, BT24-11, I believe, addressing the medium severity command injection vulnerability in PRA and RS again. And then NVD received the new CVE for 12686. December 19th, CVE 12356 is added to CISA's known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. And then December 20th, NVD provides an initial analysis on 12356. December 30th, the U.S. Treasury Department disclosed that it was breached by a Chinese state-sponsored APT actor. And December 31st, TechTarget published their article on the Treasury breach dealing with the APT activity. And that was one of the articles that I read. All right, so anyway, so that's the timeline. Again, the attribution or credit for the attack or the breach, it goes to the Chinese state actors, but they're not naming the group. BeyondTrust is indicating that they've done their mitigation, that this is no longer an issue, and patches have been provided to their customers. BeyondTrust is indicating that the threat actor does not have ongoing access to their systems. All right, so here's some terms and acronyms that may help if you read some of these articles. API key, application programming interface key. It's code used to authenticate and authorize access to an application or service. APT stands for Advanced Persistent Threat. This is a sophisticated long-term cyber attack, often state-sponsored and unauthorized. So this is just a fancy schmancy way of saying someone got into your system and they stayed there for a while. Command injection. This is the primary vulnerability that is related to this incident, and it is a command injection, and it allows an attacker to inject and execute arbitrary commands on a targeted system. CVE is Common Vulnerabilities and Exposures. This is a list of publicly known security flaws and can be in software and or hardware. And here's the link to where I go to get the information, cve.mitre.org. PRA. This is one of the BeyondTrust products that was compromised, and that is privileged remote access. And RS, remote support, is also a BeyondTrust product that is involved in this incident. SaaS is software as a service. It's just basically software licensing and delivery model. It means you're using someone else's software and usually on the internet or a network. All right, some of the organizations that are involved in this particular incident or organizations that you might want to know about. U.S. Treasury Department. They are the victim of this breach. They were using BeyondTrust for their remote support. BeyondTrust is the privileged access management vendor whose product was compromised. Chinese state-sponsored APT. This is the category or the group of attackers that are being credited with the attack, although they have not named a particular group. CISA, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. They are assisting in the investigation, and the FBI also is assisting in this investigation. So if you are an organization, a small company, or any group that wants to try to prevent this from happening to you, here's a few things you can do when you're considering reducing the risk and or mitigation. Patch. When there are patches available, based on your risk management process, please patch. Revoke compromised keys. Network segmentation. Access controls, so role-based, make sure people have access to what they need, and devices have access to what they need, but maybe not any more than that. Supply chain and third-party risk management, make sure you understand the risks of working with vendors and third parties, and work with them and collaborate with them to make sure that everybody is as safe as they can be. And employee training, and this goes as far as like awareness training, regular cybersecurity awareness training, and also making sure that your technical teams are trained appropriately for the roles that they have, and so that they can help ensure that your company is safe and your customers are safe. Incident reporting, so there are some U.S. organizations that you can reach out to if you suspect suspicious activity. That obviously is the FBI, so you can reach out to IC3, which is Internet Crime Complaint Center. You can report cyber incidents to CISA by calling their 1-844 number or emailing them. And of course, for NSA client requirements or general cybersecurity inquiries, you can reach out to the NSA through their email. And so the credits include Bleeping Computer, BeyondTrust, went to Document Cloud to read a letter that went to Chairman Brown about the incident, accessed a new blog, or new to me, GitGuardian blog, which was very good. And I think there was a couple more. NIST researched the CVEs that were mentioned. Reuters for the news report, just trying to get some basic news from some news sources. And also the last one again was another, Tech Target. How could I forget Tech Target? Tech Target also read their article. So these are the credits. One last credit is images and logos. Logos from BeyondTrust and from the Department of Treasury. And then the image was created in Google Slides using Gemini. So thank you for listening. I hope this helps you out a little bit and hope you learn a little bit each time I do this. I hope I learn a little bit every time I do this. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.